part of the storyline is the U.S. military. They've done very well. They've been very effective. They've carried out the missions as required and as directed. Our targeting has been successful. We've degraded the military capacity of Iran. But also part of the story is questions around what is the objective. And the president has sometimes said the objective was to prevent Iran from having nuclear weapons, or to decimate its ballistic missiles program, or to stop it from supporting proxy forces, or maybe regime change. And the administration still isn't clear about what the goal is. So when it talks about having a peace deal, we don't know how likely it is that Iran would sign up for a peace deal. We have seen some reporting on the 15-point plan that the Trump administration put forward, but none of those things seem like things that Iran would agree to. And Iran is still demanding things like reparations, which seem like a non-starter for the Trump administration.
Following that reporting from the Wall Street Journal regarding possibly 10,000 more troops going to the region, what does that signal to you in terms of the longevity of this conflict? Are we as close as the president is making it seem to be, that we're getting closer and closer to a deal?
Well, this is very interesting. We had already sent more than 2,000 Marines. We are also, last week it was announced, we're sending in 82nd Airborne paratroopers. Now more ground troops are going in, and another aircraft carrier. That doesn't sound like the administration is preparing to wind down. Now, are they going to use those ground troops? We don't know. Maybe the ground troops are going there to send a strong message to Iran and put more pressure on Iran. But military experts say you don't usually send these types of forces into a theater unless you're going to use them.
Yeah, the other thing that's signaling to me that this is not necessarily winding down is that we're seeing new players emerge in this conflict, specifically the Houthi rebels claiming responsibility for a missile attack as early as this morning on Israel. I don't know. What's your thoughts on why all of a sudden they're jumping into this conflict? Is it possible that as a proxy, they've just been delivered a call to action from Iran, so essentially signaling that Iran is actually really getting even further and further, deeper and deeper into this?
I've been watching this and thinking about it since we first got reports of it today. It's very interesting. I mean, one question is why? Why did they wait until now, 1 month into the war, to do strikes? Perhaps it is, as you said, they've received now a message or direction from Iran. It's also possible that they stayed out at the beginning thinking maybe the Iranian regime would falter and would fall, and then they didn't want to be left hanging, holding the bag, fighting against the U.S. But now maybe they have a little more confidence that the Iranian regime is going to be able to resist successfully for some significant period of time going forward, and they want to help. There was also some speculation that there was some sort of deal between Yemen, Saudi Arabia, and the U.S. Maybe we were providing support to the Houthis, and that was an incentive for them not to get involved. But for whatever reason, they chose to strike Israel now, and that's a major escalation.
All right, let's look at this latest in the, so to speak, deadline from President Trump. He extended it to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, holding out on threats to destroy Iran's energy plants. We actually never even saw that deal go through before that previous deadline was extended. Now, the president's saying he's seeing progress when it comes to negotiations, writing on Truth Social that the new deadline, Monday, April 6, 8 p.m. Eastern time. How much pressure is there for the president to actually deliver a deal before that deadline runs out? And if the pressure's not on the president, is it on the Iranian government more than the president?
Well, I think the purpose of putting out deadlines like that is to put pressure on the Iranian government. But they probably don't feel as much pressure when they see the president unilaterally moving them, so not following through on his threats on the timeline he originally set. Perhaps they are getting closer in negotiations, but again, I think they're pretty far apart from the reporting that I have heard. The deadline for President Trump, I don't think that he worries about missing a deadline like that. After all, he said it. But what is worrisome for President Trump is the impact on the global economy, which has an impact on the U.S. economy and on inflation. And I think that's the kind of clock that is ticking for him. He'd like to resolve this so that oil output can increase and prices go down.
Yeah, I mean, is it so far-fetched to think that he's just saying that Iran is negotiating, or he's creating new deadlines just to buy more time for the markets to reset itself, or to have some good news when it comes to domestic issues here?
Well, you said that. I didn't say that, but there are others that are saying that too.
I wonder if it's just a matter of semantics when Iran says, no, we're not negotiating with the United States. They are negotiating with Pakistan, it sounds like, right? Or is it possible that, when President Trump says that, that negotiations are happening and there's progress being made, that they really aren't at all?
I think Pakistan has become a key interlocutor, and I do believe there are some discussions going back and forth, although they are indirect with Pakistan and maybe some other countries in between, like Turkey, Egypt, or Oman. But that doesn't mean that even President Trump and Pakistan are talking to the right people. It's not clear if Pakistan is speaking to the supreme leader, for instance.
Right.
There may be other leaders that they're speaking to, and they may not be able to speak on behalf of the supreme leader or the IRGC, which are really the entities that matter for committing the current regime.
Yeah, 1 month into this conflict, still a lot of remaining questions. Helping answer some of them, David Tafuri. Thank you very much, David.
Thank you.